Friday night. What's that about? That was hard. That was really difficult. Really difficult.
Oh my goodness, I'm crying. Welcome to MT Fridays at Night. It's Friday night. We're still filling the brain drain, one unscripted conversation at a time. And you know what? We're just trying something new. And, after a long week and a couple of cocktails, we're just online talking about whatever we're talking about. And that could be almost anything. So, what's on your mind today?
Here's what's on my mind. I realize that for two people who think that they're technology savvy, we are not at all.
Oh, that's not
Um,
true. Oh no, don't throw me in that bus. No, there's things that you have to learn, but I'm not opposed to learning, and I do learn. So no, that's not true,
I would say
and
the
it's not true for
TikTok,
you either.
I don't know about that because the TikTok experience for the past, was that since
Wait a
seven?
minute. Are we going to have a conversation about old people not navigating technology, or we're going to have a conversation about something that's actually interesting?
I mean, they could both be true.
Could they?
Maybe.
No, it's a
I
cliche.
feel like I feel like you're gonna argue me towards they're not both true. So, but truthfully though, I
Okay, let's have
believe
a
that
conversation.
yeah, let's talk about technology and old people. Um, I think I'm less
It's going to
adaptable than I
replace our
was.
jobs. If that's something for you, to let you know, it truly is going to replace our jobs. You're not going to have a job. You're going to have to figure out how to survive in the AI reality that we're all going to live in because we
I
keep
don't know about
thinking,
that because, like, technically, I could go
oh,
back to being a bedside nurse. Want to, but
until the
I
robot
could.
delivers the shot.
That's true. You know, way back when I was in nursing school, they were talking about how Honda had this like robot that could give care. And it didn't look like you would want to get care from it. It looked like the robot on the old like movies, the 50s movies. Like I couldn't imagine how the robot would like lovingly cradle someone. It looked very, I don't know. Like, but I have seen better robots since then.
Yeah, well,
Like,
here's the thing. And I was sharing with you about, first of all, let's be real in terms of the times that we live in. There is a big race going on towards in terms of technology, right? And because of the virus agreed, if I don't mention that almost every time, the virus agreed and the virus power, right? Because of those two viruses, right? Countries are racing towards trying to utilize technology, AI, in a way that gets them a greater advantage, more money, and they all already have more money than they know how to spend, right? With that being said, with every huge e- evolution, right? We had the Industrial Revolution. It wiped out a whole bunch of jobs. It created some jobs. The new evolution is AI, and companies are just being able to figure out how to use AI, how to use robotics, so that we don't have jobs. You're not going to have
yeah, but
jobs,
you know what?
people.
But you just have to make your
There's
own
going to be some
AI.
jobs, but
No,
you're going to have to be smart enough to get them.
you
Oh,
gotta invent a little AI bot and you own it, and then that's your job. Like that's what you sell.
what are
Like
you selling?
I don't know. I don't know what
What
my
are you
AI bot
selling?
is
Okay,
selling.
and here's the thing.
You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the idea, and then you make the AI,
no,
and then somebody licenses the
but
AI, and that's
but
how we
here's the
all get
thing.
our money.
Here's the thing. You're also going against giants. So you've got Chat GPT. You've got probably a host of other AI companies that we don't know of. You got Nvidia. doing a whole bunch of technology, AI things, right? So you, as a small little individual, right, is trying to mount up against Google is AI, Microsoft AI, all of these
Yeah, but I'm
technologies.
talking about specific
What?
single inventor AI bots. Like all we do is we just crank out and license AI bots
And what
that
does
do
that
specific things
like? What?
if they're replacing our jobs.
Like what?
Like, I don't know, maybe mine is an editor. Like, I made an editing bot and it just edits. And like somebody, instead of hiring me, they hire the faster, quicker editing bot version of me. Like, like the way that you were like, I don't want to give my information to TikTok. You made me give my information to TikTok and now it's downloading and it's got all my info and it's me. The editing bot is like, instead of actually going to work, we're just avatars going to work. But like here's where I think like maybe I'm too old for technology is it took me so long to figure out how
Oh God,
to
I hate when you go
work
down this
the
road. I do. If I could reach across the atmosphere and punch you in the throat, I would.
you
Oh,
I just want to say throat punching is not
I
something you should
mm,
like you've said it to me a couple times tonight
I know because it's true.
and
It's really it's the core of me. I just like
it
when you
scares me that
it
you would
should.
throat punch
It
me.
should. It should. But thankfully, for all of my life, through emotional intelligence, I've learned not to throw
Not to
punch
throat
people.
punch people. Like,
Why
I'm
not?
nervous. I feel like I should be like this around
You
you.
should. You should. Because when you start talking that bullshit, here's the thing. The truth of the matter is, you know what? Just for the hell of it, and just for you people, it's like, oh, boomers don't know what the fuck they're doing. We don't. And neither do you until you learn what you need to learn. I'm a trainer. I know that people learn the way they need to learn. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I just 1 month, I was like, how many new applications am I learning in the last month? It was 10. The myth, the bias that boomers are not learning technology and trying to catch up. And here's the thing, this is an argument I had with one of my managers many years ago. But I said to them, because I'm learning doesn't mean I'm struggling. Learning is inherent in learning is struggling, trying to find new ways, new behaviors, new concepts,
But I
new
mean,
ways
like,
of
I
living.
don't know if I want to do.
And
I
nobody's
feel
talking
like
about
my
what you
brain's
want to
lazy.
do. It's what you are doing. And don't
I don't
ever
want
sell
to.
yourself as being less than. You are curious. You're one of the brightest humans I know.
And this is why you're my friend.
And she pays me a lot of money to say this. No, she is.
I don't
She's one
have
of the
any
brightest
money.
humans I know. She's one of the brightest humans I know. And
I
so
can't
we are
I
learning
can't
this
be one
thing.
of the brightest humans, because I just literally like looked around for a good 2 minutes for my writing utensil.
You know what? No, you know, and what? Einstein probably wore the same clothes every day. It's not. There's some things that are important, and there's some things that are not. What really, when I first met you, I was like, man, she thinks different. She's really smart. And my first instinct was really like, I don't know how you got hired for the same, not the same job, but for the same company at the same time, because she's really smart. And the things that your curiosity leads you into asking questions that I hope we never stop asking. I hope that whatever is happening in the United States, May 9th, 2025, I hope we don't lose our curiosity.
You know, I do think if anything is coming out of this administration, in the United States. It's people are getting a little bit more curious about how government functions, like the basics of government, because they're asking questions like, hey, like I've heard of something called the Constitution. Is that like a real thing we have to follow? And like that's a good question because like it's old. I get it. Like maybe you don't have to follow it anymore because it's old. So like these are good questions that the president proposes. Like, do I have to? What was the last thing he said? Like, do I have to something? I don't know. It was like something about following laws. Anywho, like these
No,
are great
it was
questions.
like the Constitution.
Yeah, like, but these are great questions because, like, what if you don't? Like, I mean, I think that's everyone's question at a job. Like, I mean, I technically know the job description, but like, what if I just am like, fuck it, I'm not doing it, I'm doing this. And like, the testing of that at that level of executive function and politics is just like my mind is blown. I'm like, if anyone's making us curious, this this why does that say that up there?
Yeah, it's not
Did
what
you
I
do
would.
that?
Yeah, that was not.
I mean, it's making us curious. It made you curious to
No,
let
that is
the
not.
world advertise. Like, for
Mm-mm.
those who don't know, we're coming to you from a streaming platform called Restream, which
And you
lets
know
you
what? And I'll
stream
be
on
honest with you, I kind of hate
the
it.
same multiple platforms.
I kind of hate it, to be really honest with you. I put something up and then it didn't do what I needed it to do.
It doesn't listen. It says we're restricted on TikTok, but like,
Okay,
what would
that's
we
what I
say?
wanted. Do
Do
we
we
need to
need to
follow the
follow the
Constitution?
Constitution?
Do we? I didn't know we were going in this direction.
Well, like, I'm just saying, like you said, curious, and like I've been more curious about law than ever. Like, I thought it was just a given, right? Like, but now think about it. Now we're all like, huh, is it? And like a Supreme Court justice died today.
Who?
Did you see that?
No. This
He's
is
a
breaking
Republican
news.
that often
Who?
supported I don't know his what do I look like?
A Supreme Court justice died and you don't know?
No, but you didn't even know that he
Well,
died,
you
so I'm
should
just gonna
know.
say, here's what I can remember
Oh no,
of what I read.
I'm looking this up right now. This
He
is
was
huge.
Republican leaning, conservative leaning, but often
Who
went
died?
with liberal policies.
Oh, wait a minute.
His name starts with
Retired.
it.
You know
He did
what?
he
You know
die?
what?
Oh,
No.
he retired?
Oh, you know
I
what?
thought he
He was
died.
fired. This
Oh, he
is
was
fake
fired?
fucking news.
He
It is
retired?
retired Supreme Court Justice David Souter,
Why
who
would
was.
he retired? I thought he died. Like, okay, I'm glad no one's listening to this as I'm like, and he died. Like, no, because like I thought he died because like I skimmed very quickly the
Hey,
article
Justice Roberts
that
is born from in Buffalo, New York. I just found out that was yesterday years old. I found out.
and I just learned from you doing the research that he didn't die.
Oh,
I just thought he died because, like, like it said he usually leans with other groups. And I was like, like if it seems unfair that Trump is going to get to like put another justice into a spot.
no, you don't get to gloss over that. You have to.
I also
Uh,
might have
uh,
thought all they do
no,
is
you don't
die.
get to
Like I didn't
gloss
know
over the
they.
fact that you declare a Supreme Court justice fake news. Okay, call shit
Well,
out,
I'm not a news outlet, so
obviously.
it also says on the bottom, do we need to follow the Constitution? So like
Oh,
this
he is
Friday.
retired. What are you doing?
Well, retiring could be like death.
No, yeah, no, but okay. She
Is he
is going to.
single?
She's
No.
gonna. I got a cramp in my stomach. Oh, that's vicious. Oh, come on now.
I mean, He doesn't have to go to work anymore.
Ooh, come on
I'm
now.
opposed to
I
it. He had a
well,
nice job at one point. He's smart. Didn't you say when we talked about things we liked in partners? Intelligence.
oh God, we were talking about
He's probably married. I don't think you're allowed to be a Supreme Court justice and not be partnered.
John Roberts. John Roberts. I did. Someone posted on my Facebook page that he's actually from Buffalo, and I was like, that is no friggin' prize because I have no. Oh my God! If you have not watched the last week tonight, oh, what is his name? Oliver. John Oliver's take on the Supreme Court justice and how much they are, oh my God, they're bought and sold. You need to watch it. It is, yes, it is something to watch
They
because
should have term limits.
Clarence Thomas, whoa, Clarence Thomas, ooh, oh, oh, he
That
is so
man.
bought and
You know
sold.
what?
Come on now.
There's like
He is,
are there like for a certain amount of money, I'm just gonna say this, for a certain amount of money, I would probably fuck anyone. Okay. Like that's truth. Like,
and I know that about
because
you. And you know what? That makes me not trust you.
I should not be trusted.
There you
That's
go.
why I never want to be a manager or leader of something, even though, I've done that. But like, there are some people that like, even I don't think I could fuck for money. And like, it's not a long list, but like Clarence
It should
Thomas is
be.
on it.
Who?
Clarence Thomas is on it.
Well, here's the thing. This is, you know what? This is the real deal.
I'll tell you why, because I feel like he would talk.
You know what? I don't give a shit because
I just can't.
well, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the real deal. I used to be. Hi,
Uh-oh.
my name is
Lewis.
Melonya Johnson, and I used to be a terrible liar in every sense of the word. I lied a lot as a child. Excuse me. I lied often. I lied very badly.
So
I
wait, why were you if you lied so often, why were you a terrible liar? You're supposed to
What
get better with
no, I
practice.
didn't. That because
Oh my
because
gosh,
I'm
that's
not,
not how that
you know
works.
what? As much as how smart I think I am. But here's the thing. I lied a lot. I lied in a lot. And when I go deep into what was happening in our family, I realized that everything was a lie. So me lying really was, a really part on course. But here's the thing. I lied a lot, and it wasn't until and I got my parents were the not spare the rod kind of people, right? And
So
one
wait, were you bad at lying or were you just a
both,
chronic liar?
both. I was both. I was bad at lying, and I was a chronic liar. And one day, the brain cell popped in me that said, "Just tell the truth." And I told the truth, and it was like, "Oh, I didn't get a spanking this time." And I realized from that point on, always tell the truth. And I did, and I have, and I do, because I got spankings because of that. I say this to say this that I
You should
learned
spank the justices.
no. Well, I would kind of appreciate a
It
little.
seems like you're tying physical like punishment to like doing the right
I'm
thing.
not telling you whether it's right or wrong. I'm telling you about my experience. What I'm saying to you also
You
is
should
that
have just lied better. Like that would have been my advice to you.
I'm not that smart. And my mother used to tell me this. She used to say, Melania, in order to be a great liar, you have to have a great memory. And trust me when I tell you, you will never remember all the details of your lies. You don't. And,
And
and,
and
and
we don't remember the truth in detail either. But lies we tend to flourish like they need to have extra detail to them. So the best lies are the ones that you actually believe are
but
true.
you just
I
said
believe
something really
every
profound.
lie
But
I
you just
said.
said something profound. You
Mhm.
don't, what you said, you don't remember, believe the details of the truth. That's
Well,
true.
because like if you think about it, the way that like people often get caught up in their lives is they add too much details. Like they
Mhm.
feel like they have to flesh it out for you. But like when you're really just telling a story, most people are skimpy with details. Like not because they don't want to share something with you, but because like you remember more of the emotions of stories and things that happen to you because you're experiencing them. So like the less you share in like a lie, the easier it will be for someone to believe. And
Well,
then cuz people chronically don't, they never kind of reject this. Well, I don't remember.
well, here's the
Like
thing.
that could be true.
Here's the thing. Well, we remember a lot less than we think we do. But here's also the truth is this,
That's
that
why I say I'm a wonderful lover because that's how I remember it.
there's always two sides to a story. Always, always, always. Here's the thing. I hate Clarence Thomas. I read some years ago that Clarence Thomas's grandmother, who raised him and his brother, was illiterate. She couldn't read, couldn't write. But she would make them read books and then deliver a oral.
She
Uh,
just must be
no,
rolling around in her
no.
grave.
Oh, wait a minute. And I'm biting the skin. That's a nervous reaction, right? You got it. She would have them be, give a presentation of the book, and they were, if this story is wrong, please correct me, but this is Clarence Thomas's story. And they would deliver these, they would read the book and they deliver these summaries to the grandma.
What
Never.
book are you referring to for those who might not
Books,
know? Oh,
books,
books, okay. I thought
books.
you were referring to the Bible because you said
No,
"the book," and I was
no,
like, "She's
no,
probably talking
no.
about the
I
Bible."
know.
I
That was
thought
just
you were
me
saying book.
slurring. No,
Okay,
that was books. She would have
book.
them read different books and present and do a presentation, right? And they never knew for many years. If I'm wrong, correct me, Clarence Thomas. They did not know for many years that their grandmother did not know how to read. She
Mhm.
was smart enough. She believed in their brilliance enough. She was the black woman that everyone wants to
She
dismiss.
trusted that they
No,
actually
you
read the
didn't hear
book and
me.
were doing the
Don't interrupt
presentation.
me. She was the black woman that saw the future in them and instilled habits in them that made him great. And he sold out.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, if she didn't know that he was really reading.
It didn't matter.
No,
They
but
thought that
like, maybe he faked it. Maybe his brother told the
no,
truth,
but
and
they
maybe he
didn't.
faked
They,
it. Maybe he
because
can't
children
read.
aren't that smart.
No, but, like, wait, children are
Well,
smarter than we
I'm
think they
not
are.
saying that.
How do we know Clarence Thomas can read? You bring up an excellent question. If it was validated by his grandmother who couldn't read, how do we know that he can
But
read?
you know what?
Clarence Thomas, contact and prove it.
But
And you won't be able to prove it because
but
how
this
will he be able to prove it?
but this is the beauty of love and expectation, right? He knew that they knew that their grandmother had an expectation of them.
How did he find out she didn't know how to read?
Because when you become more educated, you can see those who are less educated, right? I mean, you just know, you know. But with that being said, um, he sold out on so many
He
ways, and
definitely did.
he didn't. Probably he did.
No, he did.
I
I'm
was.
agreeing with you
Oh, I
100%.
thought you said you probably did, because I was
Oh,
around
he did.
for the Anita Davis. What was it? Anita with
The
those
pubic hair?
hearings. Uh, those hearings.
The pu- how is a man involved in a conversation about pubic hair, a Supreme Court justice. I don't know.
Well, the same way a person.
Because I know I
Wait,
can't
wait,
be a
wait,
Supreme Court
wait,
justice.
wait. The same way a person that was found guilty of being a sexual predator is president.
Mm.
But here's the thing, John Oliver's
I wonder if I could be the
wait,
Surgeon General.
John Oliver's last week tonight. I'm gonna try to find that on the Supreme. It is eye opening to understand how much our Supreme Court justices are bought and sold, and then for me to find out that John Roberts was from Buffalo. I was like, shame, shame, a shame on your house, a pall on your house, because you are not upholding the Constitution. People
Wait a second.
wait.
Is Buffalo known for upholding the Constitution?
Yeah, yes, we do. We have the Miller Fillmore was shot, I think, in this area. Yes, we do have a history. We have been a part of the Underground Railroad. Fuck yes, we do. Don't you think that Buffalo doesn't represent?
I wonder how many Supreme Court justices come from the Northeast.
Well, here's the thing. Well, we got a pope from.
Oh my gosh, the Pope. That seemed like it didn't take a long time. I thought it was going to take longer.
I didn't see the smoke.
I thought it was white this morning.
I didn't see the smoke.
Well, no, I thought it was white this morning, and then I read somewhere that there wasn't a pope, and then I heard there was a pope. So, and I mean, I guess there's an American pope.
Well, you know what? Let me just
I
find
don't know how I feel about American pope.
I don't. See, I'm just.
Oh wait, I like it because I'll be able to understand him very clearly.
Okay.
So, I don't know if wait. I'm not Catholic, so I wasn't really paying attention to the Pope.
You're by nature actually Jewish.
I mean, by nature or genetic?
I mean, not by nature, by history.
Every time I hear the phrase "by nature," it makes me think naughty by nature. So immediately I thought of rap.
Hip hop,
and then I thought,
oh, is that them? Hey, oh, is that them? Naughty by nature?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you just mentioned them. You should know one.
I mentioned a phrase.
Okay.
Makes me think of them.
So I'm copying. Oh, start at 0.
Wait, what are you doing?
I don't know.
I know I'm eating cashews. I'm eating cashews.
You can't. I told you before. You can't say cashews.
Yes, I can. I did. How do you say it?
Cashews.
Cashews.
No.
Cashews.
Nope.
I don't know what you're saying. I can't tell the difference. It sounds the same.
No, it's not.
It's not the same?
No. Okay. So I'm getting the Supreme Court ethics last week tonight.
Okay.
Oh, that was 1 year ago? Wow. I'm going to put it in the chat.
1 year ago, we had ethics.
No, we didn't. We
didn't?
No. Okay. So here is, I'm putting, can't post message to some channels. Okay. All right. That's okay. I really hate Restream. Okay.
No, she doesn't. She loves Restream.
Love it.
Loves it. Like a bad penny. Do we still have pennies? Didn't they get discontinued at the beginning of this year?
Well, we're almost at 30 minutes, but I put in there, I really encourage people to watch the John Oliver's last week tonight on the ethics of the Supreme Court. You know what? After you watch it, you will have to take a bath.
I'll have a bath?
It's dirty. Dirty.
Oh, it's dirty?
Dirty. So we are at 29.44 seconds. How would
Mhm.
you like to close out, my dear?
Oh my gosh. This has been amazing. For those who don't know this, we talked about the Constitution. We talked about our love of Clarence Thomas.
Oh, that's a lie. Don't. Why do you say things like that? That makes me want to punch you in the throat.
Again, with the
Again,
violence.
because you know what? You are a straddler. You straddle a line, and you know what? When the apocalypse happens, you want to have favor with those who will spare you. But then there's some
Wait,
soldiers.
what line am I straddling?
You always straddle a line.
No, because
Yes,
like
you
when the
do.
apocalypse happens,
You
I don't think
do.
like I'm
You
gonna be
do.
hanging out with like Trump.
Yes, you will.
I will.
You
I
you're
mean,
you're a survivor. Oh. Okay. I guess we're talking
oh
about
my God, I can do math. So
what does that mean?
he likes Elon. Elon's autistic. I mean, worst comes to worst, I could pretend that I could be a calculator. I mean, I guess.
What
And he probably wouldn't figure it out. Because he said, like, people should be their racist characters. So, like, I'm Jewish and autistic. I mean, I guess I could do math.
you're a
We could go into
survivor.
tax.
Okay, so let's have some real conversation about who we okay.
It's 31:29. We said we were going to end up 30 minutes. And now you got me talking about racist comments.
What are we talking about? The $600,000 that woman was able to.
Oh my God, that late. You know what? That organization that all that funding is going to is a Christian organization. And like honestly, I was so close to becoming a born again Christian,
Why can't I get rid
diving
of it?
deep into it. But and now never,
Say what now? I'm
never.
trying to get rid. We need.
I'm trying to understand why
You know
Christian
what? Let's
organizations are
stop.
not
Let's
Christian.
stop for a minute and say like, subscribe, and follow,
We're
because I would like somebody to handle the
What's it
just
called?
the
Signs to go? Is that
logistics
the
of this.
the no, like the it's not a regular donation. It's actually a Christian platform that is collecting all this money for her. It's kind of like signs of
God.
something.
Should I really delve into how I feel about Christians?
But I'm saying, like, why is it always like
Ugh. I mean, seriously,
it's always
if it's
religion?
honestly,
Makes me want to lapse it.
say what?
Lapse it, not be religious. When you lapsed, I'm lapsed already. It's too late.
Oh God, there's a lingo I don't even know. Should
I
I
just
be?
made it up.
Oh, I'm lapsed too. Empty Fridays, lapse. No,
Yeah.
no. I mean, you know what? Here's the thing. I'll
I
be
just want
willing.
to talk in slang so no one understands me.
Okay, so we're gonna go long.
I guess we are because it's 33:38.
So we got a new pope. Oh, should we go there?
Did we talk? We didn't talk about the Pope this morning.
Mm-mm.
I was trying to see if he was I was trying to see if he was attractive and how old he was.
Oh, wait. You're trying to
I was just curious. Like what's hot for a Pope?
wait,
They all look the
wait,
same though,
wait.
don't they?
No. Oh, they do. They do.
Restream allows you to stream live to
Mm.
30 plus social platforms at once.
No, what? Why don't I get new? Why don't
Restream should pay you to put that up. New Pope.
I should capitalize that, shouldn't I? Wait a minute. Let's talk about that.
Sexy Pope? or
Mhm.
like Pope
They
sex.
do all look alike.
They do, right?
They do. You know what?
Like
I'm
when they showed the new Pope, I was like, is that a different
okay.
Pope?
So,
Is it the costume? Is the costume, right?
okay,
Or is it the white?
women,
They're
you
all
know
kind
what?
of white, right?
They're all
So there
white.
was gonna be an African Pope.
Oh,
Didn't they
oh,
I feel tricked.
and you know
Or
what?
they say it was gonna be like a Spanish or like African Pope, and then they trotted out the whitest Pope. They're like, "No, American. Merkin." That's even super white. Like,
Merkin.
yeah. Like, America's where you go if you're South African, like,
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a
white,
minute. Wait a
like,
minute. Wait a minute. Okay,
refugees.
keep talking because
Yeah.
because
You're like, "Keep talking because 'cause you'll never work again." Um,
no, wait a minute. Keep talking because I'm trying to.
you're trying to
Oh,
find a picture of the
oh,
Pope,
wait a
but you
minute.
can't
You
tell
know
which
what?
Pope
You know
is this
what?
Pope.
Yeah, actually
Once they put the Pope stuff on, it's hard
stop
to tell
it.
popes apart.
You know
It's
what? I'm
true.
trying to bring up. Oh,
You
geez.
got the Pope mobile, you got the Pope hat, you got the
Mm.
it's like a whole gear. They showed his brother, I think, on the Times, like his reaction, like how you found out your brother's the Pope. Like, imagine, like I don't need like that was the first time I thought to myself, wow, popes have family.
Okay,
Like
wait a
they
minute.
aren't just like
Mhm.
sprung
All
magically.
right.
Have like
Oh,
relatives.
Jesus, have mercy.
No, I'm serious. Like they showed his brother. I was like, oh, he could have been the Pope too. Like he
But-
looks like you put the garb on him. He's Pope.
Oh,
You're showing all secrets. You're like, here's a slide. Here's a media
yeah, I
source.
don't care. So,
You trying to? Are you going to show a picture of the Pope and the Pope's brother? They look a lot alike.
I
I,
just
I feel like my pulmonologist could be Pope. Like you could swap him too. Like, yeah, look at the popes.
so here are
Are
all the
these four
folks.
different popes?
Not, I don't know. You have. I'm gonna make
Nah,
you.
they're four different popes. Like,
I'm
I think in order to be pope, you have
look
to
at
have
that. Look
thinning
at that.
hair,
Where is the
right? Like your
significant
hair is going
difference?
back a little
The
bit.
only big difference is with the third pope, but the rest of them could be mistaken. I'm
Wait, the
just
one
saying.
who's the one at the end? Is he the future pope?
I don't even
Is
know.
that
Oh,
American pope? I
I don't even know.
feel
And
like
do we trust an American pope? And you know what? You have
I mean, I'm
now.
not Catholic, so I
Um,
don't trust a pope. Um,
oh,
but
geez,
they do look a lot alike though,
they
right?
do.
Now that I pointed it out, now you're like,
No,
any
well,
one of these guys could be pope.
anyone. They're
Any
maybe they're clones.
they they could
Oh
be.
my God! Please, we're
Because
gonna.
even our presidents look slightly different than popes. Like, because I used to think the presidents looked a lot alike, and but like Trump did once again.
Okay,
Things
so
to be
can I be
grateful
honest with
for.
you? Can I?
Trump looks like a totally different president
Let's
than
be.
any Trump
I'm gonna be.
president.
No, no. Let's be honest. Let's be
Bingo, you're
honest.
good.
I'm gonna be
Mhm.
honest. Um.
The April 27th, 2014, the day of the four popes picture is amazing because that really,
I'm gonna
I
be
don't know
honest
what
with
that's a
you.
picture of, but it's a
I'm gonna
pretty
be
picture.
honest with you. I don't.
Be honest with
Hey,
me.
hey,
What
hey,
did
hey,
you
hey, hey.
okay.
Did you know that T.G. Jakes, right? He just retired, and there's some
Who is
kind
that?
of T.D. Jakes.
Who retired?
You're going to have to turn in your you're gonna have to turn in your cookout card, your black card, because TD Jakes. You don't know who TD Jakes is? The black
First
clerk?
of all, you brought up a
Oh,
minister.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you had. You know what? Did you see that, y'all? She googled that
Is he
shit real
dead?
quick.
No.
No, but there are some allegations with him in
Mega
terms.
churches.
Oh,
No.
hey, hello.
No.
What I'm
Whenever
saying.
there's one that is on the Chapel Road, and I shouldn't say roads I live near, but like there's like a mega church near me, and like sometimes when I'm driving around church time and they're like trying to wave you in, like, they're like, come in, yeah, come this way. I want to yell at them, you will not take me into your cult. It does look fun though. In the summertime, it looks fun. It does. It looks fun. There's
Oh,
always a
oh,
line.
oh, okay.
And like,
You
cause
know what?
it's like, and
Yes,
they lock the doors and like, nobody's leaving until the donations come in.
there's always a line. Just can we remember Jim Jones? I'm just
I
saying.
mean, but you got free Kool-Aid. So
Oh God, that's great. That's what I always wanted.
my mom never let me have Kool-Aid.
You know what? Here's the
And
thing.
I feel like if she had, I would have been less likely to join a cult.
You wouldn't be thin.
I went
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing that
First off, I just want to say one adds the amount of sugar to the Kool-Aid.
no.
Okay?
Say what?
Kool-Aid doesn't come sugared. You have to
Yeah,
add
oh
sugar
yeah,
to the
and
Kool-Aid.
I
Yeah.
grew up on
So if
Kool-Aid,
you
so I
add
know
too much like
diabetic. Speaking,
my
it's
mom would
what
just
it's
it
the
was
worst
colored
thing.
water.
It's the worst
Without
thing that
sugar
we can add
without
to our body.
sugar, it tastes like ass.
No, but it's the
She used
worst
to
thing
give
that we
us
can do.
she
I
would
mean,
not put the right amount of sugar in that Kool-Aid,
well, you
and
did
that's why I
say
didn't like it.
something.
I didn't like it.
No, and you know what? You need to kiss her the next time you see her, because it's not a good thing to have. I mean, but with that being said, oh geez, I
So
love him.
anyways, TD Jakes. So
Here's
he
the thing. I
retired.
kind of thought, okay, and I don't have. I'm not prejudiced, biased. I am prejudiced and biased. I'm not going to share all my prejudices and biases with you. But here's the thing. I always, just in terms of being the observer that I am, I always thought he was gay, right?
Wait,
And I don't look at that as a slur.
I don't know this story, so you need to like update me on the
TTJ
story.
is a mega
He
church
retired,
owner
right?
who I've been, yeah,
You're
no,
trying to tell
well,
me.
he kind of hurriedly, he's been accused by four people, four young boys, or four men, that he molested, whatever. I don't want to
This is one of
allege.
those stories.
Let me adopt the predominant media lingo, allege. That being said, right? Alleged. For years, there's been allegations of him being gay, allegations that that he has. But
But
here's the thing: I don't. But here's the thing: we were talking about the Catholic Church, and here's the thing: I can't get
oh,
behind.
the new American Pope.
No, but I can't get
Like
behind that.
isn't there something in his history of
I don't.
not
Oh.
necessary like because I can't speak to it because I don't know enough information about it, but I thought that he was also one of those uh
I went to
leaders
Catholic
who was like
I went to
in an
Catholic
area
junior
where they moved
school.
people around.
I went to Catholic high school. I went to basically a Catholic college for my bachelor's, and I went to a Catholic college for my master's. Right, with that, but as the further you go up, the less Catholicism plays into things. But here's the thing: I never could reconcile my sense of right and wrong with the fact that there were priests who were never prosecuted in the legal system.
Mm.
They were protected from that. They were moved to other dioceses where
That's it, the moving to different
they
dioceses.
could then and here's the thing: when you molest a child, when you traumatize a child, they could potentially and most likely spend the rest of their life trying to find a sense of peace and safety. And they protected pedophiles. I will never, ever, ever.
We are I just wanna
Can I
be very
finish? Let me
clear if
finish.
anyone
Let
watches.
me
Wait, no,
finish.
no, because we say new
Let me
pope on the bottom.
finish. Let
We're
me
not saying the
finish.
new pope
Don't
has
talk
done
for
any of
me.
this stuff.
Let me finish.
Wait, are you?
Let
Okay.
me finish. I will never forgive the fact that they did not term those people who they knew were pedophiles, who molested children from parish to parish to parish. They didn't turn them over to the legal authorities so they could be prosecuted. And that those people who were molested could have their day in court. I'll never, ever overlook that.
I don't
And I'm not,
disagree.
unlike you, I'm not going to I'm not going to make it easy for
How
them.
did I make it easy?
You
I didn't make it
always
easy.
try to find the world of least resistance and that you don't ruffle feathers. I don't mind ruffling feathers because the
Listen,
truth
that is
is the
not
truth.
true.
It is.
Uh-uh.
Okay. It
I
is.
said cunt on LinkedIn, so don't.
Okay. Now you're brave. Oh, wait. Let's get the brave award out for Tahitia because to Tahitia because she said cunt.
You know what?
Mm.
You have
You
a
know what? You push back on me on plenty of times. I'm pushing back on you.
yeah. I just wanted to clarify that the new pope, we have new pope up there, just like new pope. We're
And
talking
I
about
just
there's a
hope
new
he's
pope.
not biased, bigoted, racist,
I hope that too.
and weak, who will support with the regime that is kidnapping Americans and sending them to um, uh, places where they'll never see the light of day and freedom. I hope he is not. I hope he is not timid on talking about what's right, because
Well,
America has a history of encamping people. Ask the Asian people. Ask the people who were enslaved. Ask the indigenous people. I hope that coming from America, that this Pope, the Pope Leo the 14th, I believe that is what his title is. I hope that he absolutely stands up for what is right.
well, he led with a message of peace, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that what
fuck
he
that.
led with?
We've been talking about peace forever. What have people actually
Wait, I
ever
just want to
done?
say his predecessor was pretty innovative as far as poping goes, as
Yeah,
far
and
as his stance
innovative.
on loving people.
Okay, let me.
Like I think he was much more open and accepting, especially of the LGBTQ plus community. So it will be interesting to see if he continues that path of like opening the doors to more people or if he is more conservative. Um, I did not realize that JD Vance was Catholic. I read that recently. He
And who do
converted
you
to
really care
Catholicism.
about the religious people, the Christian right?
I don't
Because
know because like he was there and then the Pope died.
yeah, and he died, and we're just not. I'm not going to try to put
And
out
now
any.
there's an American Pope.
I'm not going to try to put out any allegations.
I'm not going to say it's a conspiracy,
Say what now?
but
I'm just not going to say it. Mm, mm, mm.
because
It's
like
Friday night.
how like it happened very quickly. I thought we were at least going to have another week of no Pope,
And here's the thing,
but
and I shared with you earlier when we did Empty Fridays earlier, excuse me, that MAGA have reached out to the folks in Rome to try to persuade them with money. So if you are trying to
how
infuse
much money?
billions,
Like
right?
to be Pope?
Right. They were trying to
Oh
they
wait, billions?
billions. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Do we have billions? Because, like, I heard a rumor
No,
that we were
we don't.
trying to cut $1 trillion
Me,
from our federal budget.
me and you don't have billions.
I just meant the government. Like, it seems like
Oh,
we're just trying
no,
to
it's
slash
not the
stuff everywhere.
government. It's
We're,
not.
like, trying to give
It's
people
not the
billions of
government.
dollars.
It's
It's
not the
not the government.
government. See, the
Oh,
problem is that
I
people
can't
don't know.
separate the 2, that's
They
the
don't know
problem.
where the power is.
Is it at the Popin?
You know, the one thing that Trump said that was true. He says a lot of shit that's true. You really need to listen to him. One thing he said is that the system is rigged. He did not go on to say who it was rigged for.
Well,
And
I
but
mean,
then when it came with the visa thing and the folks, the smart folks that they are bringing into the tech, he said, "Hey, I know as a business person how I used it." He tells you everything you need to know if you just listen. And one thing that I say almost every day, people don't listen and they don't read.
they don't, because we've already decided the answer, and that's why we don't need to listen.
I don't
That's
know if
why
we decide. No, I don't think
No,
we.
it's true, because that's why you can't talk people out of their ideas they already have, is they already have a decision that they've made.
I'm gonna go a step further. Excuse me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a colleague that I would, as a trainer, corporate trainer, I would say, how did this training go, or what did you think, or whatever the case may be. And then I would sometimes say, I don't know if people catch on. And he said, you have to understand that sometimes what you're putting out there is the first time that people have ever even thought of something. We we take a lot of things for granted. I'm a thinker. I'm a solitary person. One of my biggest pleasures is thinking. You're a solitary thinker. We think about a lot of things. But with that being said, is that there are a lot of things that I'm a digester. I tell people all the time, you give me a lot of information, I have to digest it. People can be digester. We have to digest what is going on today. And we're not really set up to do that because we're expected to be responsive, and we're expected to act in a certain way or think a certain way. But there's a lot that's going on.
There is. And you know what? That doesn't dissuade what I said, which is that we probably have an idea in our heads that we've already decided. We already have like this concept where we're thinking about a decision's already made. And what I think the learning is that like you're retrained to maybe think about that in a different
How
way.
do you
And
do
I
that?
truly
How
and
do you
I
do it?
truly agree. Well, it could be the first time you hear a conflicting idea from the idea that you already have, like you said. But in teaching and education, we are taught that it takes about 7 times for adults to shift that thinking. So what I'm saying is the decision that's already made is the thing that we're trying to shift, like the re-education or the new education. But like you come into something with an idea about what you're going to do or how you're going to think about something based on your experiences. So I think I agree with you, but I also think that sometimes we enter situations and we're very fixed with this decision or idea or belief that we're not going to shift after 7 times of
So let's
learning.
put on coach's hat. Here's the thing. This is what I've learned. The first thing that you have to pay attention is to your body and your mind, right? When you come against ideas and thoughts that are different from your own, it registers in your mind, your heart, your body. You feel it. and you have an uprising. You feel your
And you
inner.
make and I would take that further. You make a decision if it's so against your own thinking.
but
Can
but
I
but
kill this person?
no,
The idea, the
wait, let me
belief,
finish my
the
thought.
whatever, or
But let me
I'm
finish
okay
my
with
thought.
it.
Before any of that, it's the part of the brain that is in fight or flight, right?
Mm.
So without consciousness, somebody, because I'm listening to Tahitia, and there's some things that I'm like, I don't agree with you, girlfriend, right? And immediately everything it heightens, and I can hardly hear her. I can hardly hear her.
You can't because all the cilia in your ears are standing upright,
No, because
and
but you're wrong, and that's the way we think.
well, wrong is such a
No, but
very
I've just made
in
it a
the
point. I
box.
just made it a point.
I I
You're wrong
I'm gonna
according to my perception, right? Or I'm wrong according to your perception, or they're wrong according to
I'm
our
just gonna
perception.
say that wrong is such a harsh word to use in this situation,
You
Melonya.
know what it
Maybe we
is?
can examine it in a
But you
different
can't
way.
do any of that until you realize who you are in the equation. And the equation is that that person said something that has ignited resistance in me. Unless you can identify the resistance that resides in you, you can never move forward.
Very true. But what happens if you identify that the resistance that resides in you and you don't want to change that, you don't want to shift that thinking? What do you
You
do
have
then?
to be then become, I
Are
think
we open to the idea that people can be set
that
in their ways?
no, I think you have to then look at the bigger picture. Is what who who am I serving by going down this path or having this mindset? And if
Return on,
I
like
really
Trump says, the return on investment.
no, no.
Yes.
Well, the return on
Ooh,
investment, because I don't think anything
who
is
am I serving?
altruistic. But what I do think is this, that you feel that my purpose on in this life is to be of value to others. And if you have that mindset, then you will then but see, I'm going to go back to something very basic. None of us raised our hand to be in this world and alive, right? And I believe
Yes.
that we have an intrinsic and an important responsibility to make the world a pleasing place for anyone uh, who never volunteered to be in this world a pleasant
Or
experience.
or I'll play devil's advocate and say none of us wanted to be here, and
Nobody,
and
we didn't.
maybe that is why we are so aggressively aggressive to the planet, to the world around us, because secretly we don't want to be here and we
Ooh,
fucking hate it and we shit on it every day and we're like this bitch.
ooh,
Because the trash I see that people throw out of their cars says to me, I don't want to be here and I think it's trash and I'm going to shit on it. And that is how we treat the planet. That's how we treat each other because we're passive aggressively not wanting to be in
ooh,
existence.
you just said something that is bringing us to the top of the hour. Wow, that is
That said,
deep.
as a healthcare provider, I am not encouraging anyone to leave this planet
No,
early. Okay. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all.
no, you're
I'm just
talking
saying no
about
one
the
chooses to be here and
nobody
we act like
chooses.
it.
Nobody chooses. And also think in terms of this autonomy conversation, that just because I had a great life doesn't mean that you had a great life, and doesn't mean that I have to force people who have not had that experience to then produce children who will not have the
Yes.
great
The whole
experience
like
that I have.
everybody should have kids idea.
We talked about some things. You hit on something that was really deep. Was really deep. Well, but we're at the top of the
Well, but, like, think about it, as a parent, I've seen that with my kids. When I drag them someplace that they don't wanna be, they're passive aggressively terrible. Like, and I wonder if that is not a little bit of what we are as a human species doing. Um, like, because we're just kinda awful. So, yeah,
um,
in some ways, like, yeah,
yeah, we are.
but
I mean,
oh,
we have a
man.
responsibility, but here's the thing. The one thing that we don't oftentimes understand is that what's the word I'm looking for? We we're manipulated. We're
Well,
manipulated.
and we're manipulated, and I also think we don't have to live in passive,
No,
or resentful bondage. This
don't
world can be as
underestimate
beautiful as
manipulation.
we want it to be.
No, don't underestimate manipulation. When someone, because when you are diagnosed with having a child, somebody tells you what the gender
That's
is.
not like an infection. Your
Well,
diagnosis.
but I'm taking it to let's look at it from a
But
clinical.
that's true, though. It's kind of funny the way you said
But
it, though.
what I'm saying is this, right? Oh, you're having a boy. Okay, now that triggers some things, right? Okay, that means that
It's gonna have a penis.
mm,
That's all that means. Maybe,
maybe.
maybe not.
But what I'm saying is that we are manipulated. And here's the thing: at the age that I'm at, I am angry because
For one brief second,
can
I
I
thought you were
finish
gonna
what
say
I'm
you were gonna
saying?
have
Can
a
I
baby.
finish what I'm
It's
saying?
101.
Can I finish?
Yes.
I'm angry because they they are wrong.
Who's wrong?
Society,
Oh.
our communities,
Mhm.
sometimes our parents, sometimes our best friends. They're wrong because here's the thing:
What are they wrong about?
we're not like everyone else. There's no roadmap, and
Oh,
there doesn't have to be. And you can be. And there's some people who are going to say, "Well, how are you going to make money? And how are you going to get all these things?" And here's the thing: is that that's one way of looking at the world, but then there's something different. There is some people have made us feel that collaboration, that cooperation, that peace, that happiness, that all of these things are are far-fetched and something that is weak. But who wants to live a life where you are not at peace, where you're not happy, that you're not content? They don't ever, ever, ever tell you to pursue those things. Ever. They tell you to pursue things that never makes anybody happy. Look at all of these fucking billionaires. Can you really say that any one of these motherfuckers are happy? They're not.
wait a second. I saw that one Facebook dude, the Meta dude, when he dressed up as Benson whatever and danced around for his wife's birthday. He seemed very happy with
You know what?
himself.
And you are going to be the person that helps the people
Very
into.
happy with himself.
No,
Like, that
no.
takes
You
that
know what?
takes a certain
Yeah,
je
that
ne sais
takes a
quoi
certain
to post that, actually, is
no,
what I
you
was
know,
gonna
that
say.
takes a certain
Like,
amount.
that was an interesting outfit.
That takes a certain amount of callous and narcissism and unhappiness,
You
because I
Oh, see,
cannot think that if I had all the fucking money in the world that I would do anything not to help those who didn't. And that
that
doesn't mean a handout. That means
well, like, just because he did that doesn't mean that he's not helping
he's not. He's a
people.
fucking okay. And that's where she and I are the difference. Let's
You
meet up
said they're
next
not
week.
happy. I'm just saying, like, sometimes when
They're
you see them
not. There's
doing
not. When
some,
you
like, very
because you know what
like,
is
getting tans and stuff, I'm like, "Eh, he
no,
looks
no,
happy."
no. You know what? Here's the real
He
deal.
didn't look happy when he was
When you are a
testifying.
happy fucking human being, you do not make life miserable for others. He's not happy. They're not happy. Bezos isn't happy. Of the crazy Starlinks motherfucker isn't happy. None of them are happy.
Well, he's sad now because, like, he doesn't know why
Okay, just
people are
support
so mean to
whatever,
him.
and that's the difference
I'm
between
not supporting that, I'm just
you will
saying, like,
always support and you will always ride the line so that you'll
you
be
know what,
safe.
I'm just
And your
saying
history says why you should do that. I'm saying that's not a smart move to make, but it doesn't always have integrity. I've said what
wow.
I said.
That was a lot of jagged stabs
It
in 4
was.
minutes. Uh,
It was. It's the
I
truth.
think history will prove
And
that
history will prove the people who are trying to
I'm
straddle the
just
fence
saying,
aren't right.
I think you can be a horrible, evil person, and you can also be
But
happy.
you don't want to
The
call
2
out
things
that
don't
because
want
you're trying to be safe.
No, I just called it out.
No, you
Like,
didn't.
no,
You
you said,
always find a way to
no, I
straddle.
think
You
that
do.
I think they are very happy, but they're
I
also very
don't.
evil. You see,
You
but,
can't
like,
be
they're
happy
not
and evil. That
no,
doesn't.
I think you can be happy and evil because the devil is happy.
What the fuck is the devil? It doesn't exist.
How do you know it doesn't exist?
How do you know it does?
How do you know
Meet
it
us next.
doesn't?
Meet
I'm
us
just
next
saying if
week
we're
as
gonna
we
have
continue to
popes, there's
argue.
probably a devil.
There's no
Devil,
devil.
pope. There we go.
You know
I'm
who the
just
devil
saying you
is?
can be happy and a monster.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Because you cannot. You can't. Okay, let's put it this way.
That clown murderer
Let's
guy, he
listen.
seemed happy.
No,
Gacy,
seems in what is okay. So if I'm an orange. I have now transformed
like a
myself into
orange,
yes, I'm an
like an
orange.
edible, like a fruit, or
I'm
are
an
you
orange.
talking an
Yes,
orange
yes, I'm
person?
an orange.
Okay, orange. You're
Right.
an orange.
As an orange, I cannot, I'm an orange tree. I cannot produce lemons. If what is inside,
But you can produce some sour ass
no, you're not hearing me.
oranges did not ripe. Not
There's a
ripe.
modification on the oranges, but it's not a lemon. What I'm saying to you is this: whatever resides inside of you, you cannot then say that this is what I believe, this is who I am, or whatever, and then be a miserable human being and then say, but I'm redeeming, I'm great. No,
No, I don't I'm not saying redeeming and great. I'm saying you can be selfishly happy. They can be
but they're
materialistically
not
happy. They
because
can
a
be
happy
self-centered and
person
happy.
doesn't inflict
Yeah, but
misery
that's
on
your grade of
and
happiness.
and
That's what
a
you
happy
believe to be
person
happiness.
does not inflict misery on others.
That's
They
not
don't.
true, because if my psychology is to be a serial killer and it makes me happy to kill people and that's what I do, then that makes me happy. So
But
that would be
how many
misery on another
but how
person.
many of those
By
people are actually
definition,
happy? They're not.
I have won that argument because well, how do you know?
Oh,
Are you a serial killer?
I could be.
No. So you don't know.
I,
Wait, did you say you could be? You
I
know,
just choose not
they
to
say don't argue with people that are drunk.
be. Or sociopaths.
They say that too, or high. Like you, this is
I have found in you that you always look for ways to
I am
soften
looking.
things.
No, I'm not softening.
You
You know
do.
why? Probably that's why I was a nurse. Like you think when the nurse walks in the room and they can't give you the bad news, like, but they're just like, oh, do you want to have your family member here when the doctor comes later? Because you know, like, are they going to be around? That's me softening what the doctor's going to say. I can't help it. I can't help but look at these guys and think like, like, yeah, you probably have enough money and you could buy whatever. Like you should be happy with the money that you have.
You should.
But like, you know, I can get behind the insecurity of like the fear of like, oh my gosh, what if I lose all my money?
You got all the
What if I
fucking money in the world.
what
Really?
if it disappears?
So what?
Like what if I can't afford private
You'll
security?
you'll you'll find a
People
way.
get kidnapped all the time.
No,
Like, when I
not
started
when they're
really
poor.
learning about the
That's not when
dangers
they're
of being super rich,
poor.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, they do have a
You
hard
will
life.
always
They
find the
should
reason to
have
side with
like,
the enemy.
they should get some kind of welfare for that."
No,
Like,
no.
because like, do you know you have to have a private security company? If you
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
private security
yeah.
company, then you gotta travel in, like, a
Or
special
or
car.
you
Then
can
you
just
can't
be
go
a
you gotta
regular
just keep
fucking human.
making money.
You could be
Like,
a
in
human and just not have all of that wealth associated with you and not make yourself a target. You could share the wealth because you're happy, because you
That
understand
sounds
when you are
like
not infected with the virus of greed and the
that sounds
virus of
like
power.
anti-capitalism, and how dare
Yes,
you not be interested in the progress of
I
business.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these dudes are they are the fine line between anarchy,
No, they are
business
energy.
success,
Look at
and
us.
Satan the devil. Like, I think they're happy. Like, I think they're
1 hour
happy.
and 10 minutes. I
Yeah.
don't. Because
I
happy people don't inflict pain on others. They don't. Happy people do not
What's
inflict
the
pain
pain
on
that they're
others.
inflicting?
What?
What pain are they inflicting?
And because you asked that question,
They're not actually doing it.
because you asked that question lets me know that you are
I
potentially
mean, they're not actually
a
doing it.
asset. You make yourself open to being an asset because you want to blur the line between right and wrong.
That's not true. I would never work for any of these organizations.
Or would you?
No, I would do a one-time fuck, but I would not work for any of
See?
these. Like, see, like, if you have to
And
work
you know what?
someplace,
If you sell your soul once,
if
you're
you have to
sold.
work
Damn it.
oh my gosh, if
Oh
you
my
have to
God.
work
Oh
someplace
Jesus.
chronically
Jesus.
long
Oh
to
God.
what? Like, no, I would do like a
Okay.
one-off, but like
Oh, see, you know what? Here's the thing, Tisha. You sat there and argued with me and tried to make me think that, oh, you're just off base and you're a horrible human or whatever. But I described who you were. If
I
you felt your soul
never
once,
said you were a horrible
no,
human
you
being.
didn't have to. But
You
here's the
read that
thing.
into it.
No, but if you sell
Like,
yourself
don't try to
once,
gaslight
you
me
are
on this
done.
while I'm gaslighting you. That's not right.
I'm not gaslighting you. I'm telling you the fucking truth. If you sell your soul one time, your soul bought and sold.
Listen, if
That
I sell it
looks
one
like
time, I
our
don't got nothing
House
to
of
sell left. I'm
Representatives.
just
It
selling
looks like our
copies like
Congress. It looks
Xerox.
like the crooked cabinet that we have in place now. It looks
But
like
I don't
the Catholic Church who allowed molesters to continue to molest children. It
how many
looks like
souls do you think I
corruption.
have?
You are corrupt.
I only have one
Woo!
soul. There isn't a soul to sell. That's why you're like, if you sell your soul once,
You do
it's
have a soul. You
gone.
said
No,
you
it's gone.
once said.
You said I sold it already. So I'm just fucking right now. I'm just fucking around, right? Like they
No,
don't even
you're
know I
not.
don't got
You're
a
talking
soul to
about your
sell.
truth.
I am saying that,
What? What are you saying?
I'm
Tahitia?
saying
We're at 1 minute 13 seconds. What are you saying?
until I have a mil did you say 1 minute, 13 seconds?
No, yeah,
Or
we're at.
did you mean 1 hour and 13
I
minutes?
messed up.
Just to clarify. If I had I'm not a billionaire. I am open to opportunities. And I would take that money and I would like invest it in beautiful, wonderful things. I would give. I'm lying right now. Lying. Like most people get money and they don't share it. So, like, yeah. But that said, I have had opportunities to work for awful companies and I haven't. So, like, you're wrong. So, nah, nah, nah. Is what I say to you. It's all talk. I like the bravado of how I do
I
this,
am
but
open
if
to opportunities. That says everything we ever needed to know. Can't post message to some channels. You know what? I really hate all of everything. Why does
you
not
are very hateful. You throat punched me
I just
11 times during this talk. Like, you were like, I know you're a liar. You're just unhappy. Because I said rich people might be like happy.
if they were
Like,
happy, they wouldn't. You don't create havoc when you're happy. But you know what? I have to own
I
my
don't know.
shit.
Toddlers do, and they seem happy as fuck. Like, would
Mm,
not equate
no.
havoc to
Oh yeah,
happiness.
well, you know what? I'm not gonna. I'll,
Did I talk you into it? I
I'll
feel like
accept.
I could have been
I'll
on the
accept
debate.
the fact that I could be a little bit violent.
I'm attracted to violent people. It's true. It's sad.
Anyway, I just got a. I just got a. I just got a. I just got. I just got a cramp in my stomach.
Like, sad, like that feels sad to say, but like,
I just got a cramp that hurts so bad.
so like I was
But
at the
you know
pawn
what?
shop.
Here's the thing I'm gonna say to you about that. Congratulations for being human and being honest. Because we have some fucked up shit about ourselves. As much as I've been on my
I don't
high
deny it.
horse and pointing fingers at you, or whatever, I'm a total hypocrite. Right? There's some shit that I am totally hypocritical on, totally wrong
You're
about.
like, take a risk, dude.
So yeah,
Like,
I
where
mean,
is this?
I
Wait,
think,
where is this streaming again?
you know what? Here's the thing.
In
No,
your face.
no. Here's the thing. I know there's some people who will accept my message, and there's some messages for different people, right? And then I don't
You're
even.
like, you're a straddler. You're playing it safe. I'm like, this is going everywhere.
I'm not playing
Anybody
this
who wants,
thing. Yeah, but you know, here's the thing. But here's the thing. You got
I'm
to
playing
figure.
it safe administration wise. I don't, there is a general
Okay,
surgeon.
you know
Yeah,
what?
I said
I,
general surgeon. I said general surgeon again instead of surgeon general.
you know
There's a
what?
surgeon general position. You don't think that I want that?
You know what? I get it.
I mean, I'm qualified.
Well, yeah, anybody in this administration, if they have an anus, is qualified for.
When you say, what if I didn't have an anus? Some people are born without anuses. So, does anyone who in the
It is so
administration
difficult to
doesn't
be
have an
politically
anus?
correct.
Like, that is an excellent question for this administration. We need to know how many assholes there are. Is it just all assholes? I think it is.
You're trying to kill me.
Don't toot yourself. It's a group of assholes. You would be in the administration.
Oh my God.
Oh,
You know what?
man.
This is what I appreciate about you, and then we're gonna end. This is what I appreciate you because you called me out on my shit. You let me know when I'm a hypocrite, and I love
You
that.
also told me. You were
Yeah,
like,
you
no.
know what? And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't know everything. I could be wrong as wrong. I could be wrong, and probably am.
I thought the Supreme Justice guy was dead. I was like, and he died.
Just hope. No,
Getting a new one.
but here's the thing. Here's the at the end
It's
of the day.
terrible.
Here's the real truth: is I love you to death. You're one of the smartest human beings I know. You have a beautiful heart. You love your family. You love your children. You love people, and you love justice and equity and equality and all things that make people happy and peaceful. And that's why I love you, and that's why I do this podcast with you, and I shoot jabs at you, but you know what? They come right back at me, because I have my hypocritical bullshit too, right? Not to, but and I do, right? And with that being said, and that is what, if you can sit in the space with people that have different mindsets, that is what makes us, that's what is going to grow us,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and that's what we
Yes.
do.
That's why I try to bring the beauty of that administration to you. Just like,
Don't, oh, Jesus. Oh, cramp, cramp. I got a cramp.
there it
Okay.
is. That's why, sometimes you just have to be like, "Look, Robert F. Kennedy," right? That's his name. Like, he's so smart. Look, hello, ma. Like, like, we
He's a,
have to end.
he's a
Like,
fucking asshole. Okay, can I just say this? And I shouldn't, but no, I'm going to say what I really feel.
you
I
got
think, I think the
15
people,
seconds.
okay, I think the people who are in power in the United States at 5/9/2025 are the result of white privilege, mediocrity, hatred, racism, and the demise of this experiment called democracy.
I
And
agree with you, except I think it was stolen by technology,
it
and
could
there's a
be.
name behind that, and whatever.
All right, so we're gonna so we came to you Friday night.
You know who's on it? I just wanna give a shout out to my best friend from high school, Pam.
Hi,
Pam
Pam.
joined on my Instagram. I love you, Pam.
Hi, Pam.
And also Mary Ellen, I believe that's Mary Ellen, who I also went to high school with. 2 of my high school friends are
Oh,
on this. Um, I don't think I've changed much from that time
okay.
period.
Now we're
Like,
just about to launch it. We're about to launch into a new session.
no,
Yeah.
I mean, like, no, I have to say, like,
Now
Pam is
she's
why I
saying
became a
I
nurse.
did, but
She was a nurse first. She was a nurse first. Like,
now
I
we're
admire
talking
her so
about
much. I admire
how
her so
we
much.
look just like we did in high school.
I don't know what I'm eating right now. It's probably cashew. It's
Mm-mm.
like a piece of
Well,
dirt that
hi,
was
how's
on the
hot?
desk.
Say
We should
what?
hang up so I can eat dirt off the desk.
Okay, so thank you, high school friends, for joining. Um, yeah, that's awesome. And thank you, Tahitia, for spending a Friday evening with me. I appreciate you. I love you. And yeah, I throw
I
some
love you too.
barbs, but you throw them right back. And you know what? At the end of the day, there's a 99.9% chance that I'm wrong. So, with that being said, see you
We
next
had
week.
a good
See ya.
time and hope you did too. Join us each Friday as we fill the brain drain one unscripted conversation at a time. Like, subscribe, and share. Help us spread our reach on YouTube. Until next Friday, stay curious.